CIP-10 is a personal sampler that enables the measurement of the concentration of dust and particles suspended in air. The equipment will be used in the framework of the TAS standard, whose objective is to assess and control sources of exposure of employees to toxic agents. The first phase of this standard consists in measuring the concentration of particles for the most exposed employees with the CIP-10. This film is aimed at technicians on sites, as well as the laboratories that will be responsible for handling the CIP-10. The CIP-10 is in the form of a light compact block which operates autonomously on rechargeable batteries. The equipment includes different components, including a rotating cup that enables the aspiration of air. The foam in the center of the cup enables the collection of the aspired particles. There are different sorts of selectors according to the size of particles sought. They are designed in accordance with the standard curves of the European standard EN 481. In the case of our project, we are only interested in particles of the respirable alveolar fraction. The respirable alveolar selector that only lets through particles that are deposited in the alveoli of the lung. For your information, the inhalable selector to enable the collection of the particles that enter the respiratory tree. For your information, the thoracic selector that only lets through particles that are deposited in the tracheobronchic region. The determination of the mass of dust collected is carried out by weighing the cup and its foam before and after sampling. Before sampling, the laboratory prepares the cups and covers that are identified by an indelible marking. The foams used to fill the cups must be guaranteed by the manufacturer to be compliant in dimensions as well as in chemical purity. The operator uses talc-free gloves in order not to interfere with the measurement result. As the weight of the foam is sensitive to humidity, it is necessary to prepare 3 control cups at the same time as the cups used for measurement. In order to stabilize their level of humidity, the cups are placed for 1 night in a dryer or in an oven. All the data concerning operating conditions are meticulously noted by the weighing operator. The control and measurement cups are weighed at the same time, the control cups being interspersed with the measurement cups. The weighing requires scales with an accuracy of 1/10 of a milligram. During weighing operations, the stability of temperature and hygrometry of the weighing room must be checked. The cups are then closed and placed in boxes. These boxes ensure that the cups cannot open during transport to the sampling site. Clip the alveolar nozzle on a cup chamber and then combine it with the selector foam. Take the impactor and install an impactor foam on it. Place it above the selector foam. Take the selector to cover the impactor and screw it on a 1/4 of a turn. Block this position using the locking screw. Fix the cover above the selector input blades and then fix it with the screw. The heads are numbered to enable a follow-up to be carried out. The packaging of the heads in boxes appropriate for transport ensures protection against all particulate pollution. Information concerning the equipment is meticulously noted by the operator. The heads and the cups are then stored with the datasheet in a protective case and transported to the sampling site. The site staff will prepare, check and assemble the equipment. After the batteries have been recharged for one night, it will be necessary to check the speed of rotation of the CIP10 cup that is proportional to the sampling flow rate. To this end, a reflective strip stuck on the cup is used and an optical tachometer that enables the measurement of the number of revolutions per minute. The operator records all the references for a good traceability of the elements of the equipment on the sampling sheet. The rotation of the CIP10 cup is activated by magnetic contact, using the magnet supplied. The control light shows that the cup is rotating. It is switched off when the cup is blocked in its rotation. The speed of rotation is 6,800 revolutions per minute. In any case, it must be between 6,650 and 6,950 revolutions per minute. Be careful. When sampling sites are situated at a very high altitude, it will be necessary to adapt to these values. The prepared heads and cups are taken out of the case. The cup is installed on the motor axis of the CIP10, and then the cover is removed and its reference noted. The pre-assembled alveolar head is taken out. The sampling head is screwed on. The cup is blocked in rotation. The reference is noted. To carry out the sampling, the CIP10 is carried on the chest, close to the respiratory tract. The head of the CIP10 must be at a maximum distance of 30 centimeters from the nose. It is necessary to make sure that the head is never covered, for example, by work clothes. It is started up using the magnet. This magnet is not given to the operator. The control light must be visible and switched on. It will be necessary to note the type of the operator's job, the date, the time of starting and ending the sampling, including any possible interruptions, such as lunch break, etc. A standard sampling form is designed for this. The CIP10 can operate in any position without causing inconvenience to the operator, in order to give a representative sampling. The recovery of the cups is carried out on the premises of the sampling site. After sampling, the equipment must be maintained in a vertical position. The cups are protected by their respective covers before being extracted with care using the extractor. The CIP10 is recharged for the following measurements. The cups must be enclosed in a sealed box that cannot be opened during transport to the laboratory. As always, the operator uses talc-free gloves in order not to interfere with the measurement result. In order to stabilize their level of humidity, the cups are once more placed for one night in a dryer or in an oven. The weighing takes place in the same conditions as before the sampling, once more interspersing the control cups with the measurement cups. Operating conditions are always checked. If the variations in mass for the control cups are less than or equal to 0.2 of a milligram, the results are valid. Here, 0.4 minus 0.2 equals 0.2 of a milligram. Therefore, the results are valid. If the variations in mass for the control cups are greater than 0.2 of a milligram, the results are not valid. Here, 0.6 minus 0.3 equals 0.3 of a milligram. Therefore, the results are not valid. The TARS pilot project concerns crystalline silica. To recover all the dust, the cups are rinsed with ethanol above a platinum crucible. The contents of the crucible are then burnt. The residues obtained are then incinerated in a retort chamber. The weighing of the ash may enable the calculation of the proportion of ash and prepare the sample for analysis by X diffraction or infrared. This weighing is carried out with an accuracy of 1/100th of a milligram. To analyze the ash, there are two methods, including X-ray diffraction, which is especially recommended in the framework of the pilot project. This requires a preparation of the sample based on a filtration of the ash, then an analysis of the membrane in the diffractometer. The spectra of analysis by X-ray diffraction makes it possible to obtain the mass of crystalline silica in the analysis sample. By relating this mass to the volume of air sampled, one can express the concentration of crystalline silica in the air. There is another method to analyze ash. It is Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy. To make a pellet, a measured mixture of ash and potassium bromide is required. Take the pellet for analysis from under the press. Place the infrared pellet in the pellet holder. The spectra of analysis by infrared obtained for the sample makes it possible to determine the mass of crystalline silica. By relating this mass to the volume of air sampled, one can express the concentration of crystalline silica in the air. It is necessary to clean all the parts of the CIP-10. In order to do this, remove the cover. Check that no blade has been broken. Take out the impactor. Take the impactor foam and throw it away. Do the same with the selector foam. All the parts are cleaned with tap water using the fine brush. The rotating cup is also rinsed with distilled water.